All of us need a plan. Why? Because if we don't have a plan, we'll spend it all. My name is Dr. Martin Williams. What I love to do is make sure people aren't ignorant and they discover and develop who they are and deploy that into the world that makes sense and never get lost in it. You should be able to live in this world and live your life in it and not get lost in it. All right. So when we start thinking about wealth and it's looked at generationally, this is a powerful and amazing thought process. And I hope you're linked in. I hope you're synced in. I hope you're joining into this thought process. I build beyond my lifetime. Say it. I build beyond my lifetime. The scripture measures wealth by what remains. Proverbs says, set heavens, it sort of sets heaven's standard. A man leaves, a woman leaves, a father leaves, a mother leaves, a grandparent leaves an inheritance to their children's children. They leave it. So you and I have to think about leaving something. Okay, you're a young man right now. You're in your 20s. You're not married yet, might be dating someone. You don't have kids. You're just taking care of yourself. One day, my sir, one day, ma'am, you're going to have a husband or a wife and or children. You may already have parents that are still alive, but one day you're going to have children you need to start thinking about. And I'm telling you, start thinking about that now. Put your practices in place now so that you are ready. So you have to notice that it's not just children. It's not just children, but it's also grandchildren, children's children that you need to be thinking about. And that's the bottom of the barrel. That's at least what you should be thinking about in everything you do. That means that God measures wealth across time. It's not just the amount of money that you have, but he measures your wealth across time, not just these small moments. It's across the whole endurance of time. So if nothing remains after you're gone, the wealth failed in its assignment. After you're gone and nothing has been left behind for the next generation, then it's been a failure, especially when it comes to wealth in Martin's life. And friend, I'm looking at you and I'm telling you, it's the same. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel like I'm putting you down. I'm saying that once you realize that that is a call from King of Kings, then he's also provided ways for you to do it. We'll get to that in a little bit later. The questions that I'm surfacing is just because I've talked to a lot of people for a long time about this. Here's the first question. Why do so many people get money and then they lose it? They get it, then they lose it. Another question you might be asking, why do I build something that outlives me? Why in the world would I do that? Why wouldn't I just build something in my life, enjoy my life, use it all up and leave? Why can't I do that? Why do I, if I get a dollar bill, why do I need to put a part of it away and never spend it? Why should I buy more property and never sell it? Why? People ask me that question all the time. Okay. Another question you might be asking, why does God consider my success? Or maybe a better question is, what does God consider real success? What would he call success in my life? To leave behind for my children's children, but also take care of myself and my wife, and think about our parents. We have to reach backwards, some of us, and take care of parents. Right? Parents, my life with my wife, my children, and my children's children. It's 4 generations, my friend. And times 40 times 10, that's 400 years. I just say I want a 300-year plan. So I hope my son and my daughter have a 300-year plan, right? I help them devise that because all of us need a plan. Why? Because if we don't have a plan, we'll spend it all. If we don't have a plan, if we don't see other people, we'll spend it all and leave nothing behind. So don't fear. I don't think people really fear about making money because everybody is doing something every day to make money. but they fear losing it. They fear misusing it or leaving it, or when they die, they leave nothing behind for the generations that are behind them. That is a real fear. That is a real issue. But there are a lot of answers for this in our kingdom. There's a lot of scripture that talks about this fear, and we have to deal with it for generations. So the truth is, wealth in scripture is always connected to inheritance, legacy, generations, because God does not define wealth by accumulation. He defines it by continuation. I'll say that again. God doesn't look at wealth. God doesn't look at wealth and call wealth this accumulation of a lot. Got a lot, mountains of money, mountains of everything else, just mountains of it. But that's not how he sees wealth. He sees wealth as a continuation. Wealth in God's eyes has continuity. It moves past you into generations. So money that serves only one lifetime is really incomplete. And that's why sometimes in conversations, it's like with people, I have to say, you are very wealthy, right? How much of it do you spend? Well, I spend most of it. So you're not wealthy. Do you have a plan to leave any behind? No, I'm going to use it all. That thinking, especially when you have family, especially when you love the world you've lived in and you want to leave something behind that continues to make that world better, you have to think continuation, continuity. This is not a thing that God says you've got a lot and you've amassed all these things. No, what are you leaving? So heaven audits wealth after the builder is gone. Lord of mercy. After I'm gone, everybody's like, I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I want to see Jesus. Great. But you're really audited, not about getting into heaven. Jesus, the King of Kings, paid for all that. What you're working on is what you're part of this. And it's what wealth did you leave? What power did you leave here on earth? What opportunities did you leave here on earth? Are your children going to be subject to what the world offers them? Or will you build a platform for them after you're gone? That's the question. Get this now. Quick money rarely lasts unless you have a plan. Quick money doesn't last always. So you got to build wealth. You got to build wealth because that's the only thing that endures. That's the only thing that endures. And we see in scripture, we see in our lives that it constantly warns about speed without structure. Let me tell you what fast money does. Fast money lacks discipline. It just happened. It's sort of magic when it happens to you. Fast money, it really lacks discipline. It also lacks wisdom a lot of times. It's almost luck. Fast money also lacks systems. If you get fast money, there's no system. It all blows away with the wind. Fast money also lacks governance. How do I govern myself? Who's around me that I can be accountable to? Who's expecting me to do amazing things? Quick money excites emotions, but it's wealth that survives the transitions in your life. Wealth will last longer. Wealth will last longer than quick riches. Okay? But God is not interested in moments of abundance. He's really interested in sustainable provision for the family that's left behind. Speed creates stories, but structure really creates legacy. Getting it fast creates great stories and testimonies, but a structure creates legacy. What do you do with it once you get it? That is the question. Go ahead and subscribe and watch the next video.